answering frequently asked questions about eXp Realty. In this video, I'm going to give you answers to the most common questions I hear being asked about eXp Realty. That way you have more of the correct information as you're exploring, doing your research, or whatever it is you're doing right here on YouTube. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Tyler Roicki. I help people build income and wealth in real estate, and I run an international real estate team at eXp Realty. If you get any value whatsoever out of this video, all I'd ask is that you like, comment, and hit that subscribe button so that I can continue to share more tips and resources with you in the time ahead. And with that being said, let's dive into the video. So first FAQ we're gonna get to is, what does eXp stand for? Quite simply put, eXp is the prefix of real estate. I mean, think of all the positive eXp words that especially would pertain to real estate. You've got experts, exploring, expanding, experienced, exponential, and plenty of others. But the point is, this company is all about the agent. We're agent centric, and we're redefining what that means for a real estate company in the way of what they do to equip the agent with the most to succeed. So it's not about a founder, it's not about a person, it's about us, the agent here at eXp, and really equipping us to make the most of that opportunity to serve our clients to the fullest extent. And that brings me to the next frequently asked question, which is eXp a pyramid scheme? So I actually made a video that covers this as one of the misconceptions that I commonly hear about eXp, but short answer is no, eXp is not a pyramid scheme. We are a publicly traded real estate tech company traded on the NASDAQ, which, if you know anything about their standards, it's crazy what kind of standards they have, especially on the accounting front. But there's no way that an illegal pyramid scheme would be publicly traded, to say the least. But here's the bottom line with that. That misconception comes from a piece of our business model that is our revenue sharing plan. And if you take a glance at that, it has a similar kind of look to a network marketing kind of business model. And so the core with it though is that the company revenue getting shared back to the agents is based on actual real estate sales happening. It's not based on signing people up or recruiting people. It's based off of real estate sales. And fact is, eXp has the most lucrative revenue sharing model in our entire industry, in which they're sharing back company dollar to the agents, which in almost any other scenario just does not even happen. So it's a special opportunity. That's where the misconception comes from. But long story short, eXp is not a pyramid scheme. The third FAQ that we got here is eXp an online brokerage? Not necessarily. eXp being cloud-based means we actually do have an office, and it is based in the cloud. But the point is, we have a place for our agents to go to get the support and training in real time when they need it. So it's not just virtual, it's not just an online brokerage in which you're emailing, texting, calling, hoping to get support. No, we have a place to go to get it. It's in the cloud, and it functions the same way your local bricks and mortar office does, except without the massive cost and without the limited resources you would find on a local level. Because fact is, if you have an office that only caters to a handful of agents or even hundreds of agents, it's going to be limited to the resources to service that specific number of agents. So eXp, we have the resources capable of facilitating close to 90,000 agents and growing in the way of what is done there for support and training. So fact is, we have more of it in real time when we need it. So is eXp an online brokerage? I mean, you decide. I would tell you we're cloud-based, and we're not comparable to a lot of companies who might say or otherwise operate as an online brokerage. Now, the fourth FAQ is, what if you want or need a local office? Well, here's the beautiful thing about that. eXp is not anti-office. They are simply anti-making the agents pay for that fixed bricks and mortar office expense up front. So whereas a lot of other companies out there, you're front loaded, meaning you're going to pay up front for that office whether or not you use it, because they've got to cover that bricks and mortar overhead. eXp, that's not the situation. We don't have those physical bricks and mortar offices. So the company saves on that cost and instead does some other things for the agents. I say some other things, I'm very much making an understatement there, but a lot of other things to help the agents build and grow their business. Now, if you want to or need a local office, you're free to go out and get one. It's going to be at whatever the cost is, but again, eXp is not charging you up front, so you have more money on the table to potentially do that. And so we have a ton of leaders at eXp. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you drove around and seen office or sign that says eXp on the front of it. That's probably one of our agents who has opened a branch office. So there is a way to go about it. But even if you didn't want to do that and pay the expense, there's a way to access co-working space. We have an extensive network of co-working lounges through Regus. Literally, there's thousands of locations across the map, but we can actually gain access to that through our eXp monthly dues. That's gonna cover that and a plethora of other resources. So we'll get a card to Regus to be able to access their co-working lounges and any of their locations all across the map, which if you're in a major market area, there's probably one nearby you, REGUS. So we got the same co-working spots that your traditional big bricks and mortar company would have. So problem solved. Next question is, how can you get support without an office? So to bring this all home, we get support in real time in eXp World, which is our cloud-based office. And that's where you will find our 1,500 plus employee staff and our state broker team, which is quite extensive, especially if you're in a big state like Texas, California, or Florida, but even all the other states, they got a great support staff. But like for instance, in Texas, you got over a dozen managing brokers. Same thing with California and Florida, but like you've got a whole team of brokers and they're there in real time whenever you need help and support. You pop into eXp World and within 2 minutes, you're speaking live with one of our state brokers who's there to help and answer your broker related questions. So you get the real-time help and support you need. Without that bricks and mortar based office, you get it quicker here in our cloud-based office. Next question is, who's the broker for eXp Realty? Well, every state has their own team of managing brokers, and so who your broker is going to vary state by state. In fact, each state has more than one managing broker, and there is a primary one, so we're fully in compliance with all the state's rules, regulations, and standards as far as having an actual managing broker. We got that here, and part of the process for anyone who's coming on board is after you submit that form online, it's going to go into the queue of the state's brokers team, and so you're going to get corresponded with the state brokers info in case you didn't already know. So you don't have to know who it is going into things. You're going to be connected with the information you need as part of the process coming on board, if that's why you were wondering for that question. Usually that's the case. Next FAQ is, what training is offered? There's a couple videos you'll find on my channel here that really dive deep. In fact, I made one recently called What the Training at eXp is Actually Like, and it gives you a peek behind the curtains of actually what you are able to tap into, but it's quite extensive. I haven't seen anything else in the industry that would even hold a candle to it, and that includes a well-known company out there that claims they have the best training in the industry today. Having seen what that's like and having seen what eXp has offer, I haven't seen anything like what eXp brings to the table, even for a newly licensed real estate agent. So you have an entire curriculum and crash course for newly licensed agents, and then you have a ton of different courses and materials beyond that. You'll never run out of things to learn here at eXp, no matter where you're at on your real estate journey. Next question is, does eXp give you leads? So the answer to this is yes. The company has a variety of resources and ways in which you can get company generated, not even just leads, but better yet, referrals. What would you prefer to have? Would you prefer to have a lead or a referral sent to you by the company? Well, fact is, eXp has a variety of ways that our agents can actually position themselves to receive company-generated referrals. Oftentimes, these are pre-qualified, pre-approved, ready-to-go buyers, and sometimes sellers that are just ready to unload, even up to a portfolio of property, depending on who the seller is, because we do have institutional sellers that get connected through eXp. But bottom line is, there's a certification process to get involved with those programs, but eXp is generating several thousand, at this point in time, several thousand closed transactions per year that are being directly sent to our agents through our internal referral programs. And on top of that, there are several things the company does to help position our agents to have the most in the way of leads that they're able to tap into as a direct result of being affiliated with the brokerage. Our agent-to-agent referral network is incredible. There's well over 100 being sent from agent to agent within the company every single day, and that happens on our internal communication platforms. And on top of that, there's some very powerful tools and tech we have access to where we can generate leads for minimal cost, if not free. There are ways to do it for free, but to minimize our cost per lead so that we can have that stream of business coming in and be filtering out those opportunities, looking for those who are ready, willing, and able, and ready to purchase or sell or whatever the case might be. So long answer, but yes, eXp does give you leads and gives you every opportunity to put yourself in a position where you have the most coming in the way of opportunity. Next FAQ is, what are the split caps and fees? So there's a lot to the numbers of eXp, so I'm very much going to hit the tip of the iceberg here. Everyone starts on the same exact deal here, which, by the way, before I tell you what that is, eXp is an 80 to 100% plus brokerage. I'm not gonna get into the plus here and exactly how you do that. I've made other videos on the channel, but as far as where you start, everyone's got the same deal, 80-20, $16,000 cap, very simple and straightforward. Once you cap, you will pay a per transaction fee of $250 for the remainder of your anniversary year. And if you just crush it and keep closing a ton of deals beyond that, that can actually get reduced one more time as well to $75 a closed transaction. But the fees beyond that, very simple. $149 get started, $85 a month, and a couple of transaction related fees. You've got a $25 broker review fee and a $40 risk management fee, which covers your E&O insurance, and that E&O caps at $500 per year. So very simple and straightforward on the numbers side of things, very competitive, but there is an opportunity at eXp especially for top producers, to chip away and get closer to 100% plus net at the end of the year when you factor in the equity opportunities through being able to acquire company stock as you're closing deals, as well as opportunities to build multiple streams of income into your business and ultimately share in the company's revenue, which is substantial. The next question is, how do the stock options work at eXp? And I say stock options because this is usually how I hear people referring to what eXp does with stock. Now, to be clear, agents don't get stock options here at eXp. And what I mean by that is a stock option is an option to purchase or an option to sell a contract. So a stock, on the other hand, is your actual equity and ownership. So we're not getting stock options, we're getting actual equity and stock in the company. Now that that's understood, there's 5 ways that agents get to share in the stock and equity and ownership upside of this company. First way is by closing their first deal every single year. They're gonna get their first share award. Second way is by capping. They're gonna get another award when they cap. And third way is through the growth. As incredible as the growth has been at eXp, shattering growth records in the industry, it's been 100% agent-led word of mouth. And so when and if one of our agents ever refers a friend who's another agent or getting in the industry, what have you, but the friend decides to come on board as a direct result of that referral, well, the company's gonna provide another share award to that person who referred them once that agent closes their first deal of the year. And beyond that, we have something called the Icon Agent Program, where the company's ready, willing, and able to pay back the entire cap in the form of equity ownership in the fastest growing company that's ever existed in our industry. And they'll do that for a top producer who meets a certain production threshold, as well as a set of cultural points. And that's based on contributing positively to the culture of this company. So again, I've made more videos about this topic and breaking it down on the channel, but that is a very real and a very big opportunity that exists for someone who is a top producing real estate agent or desires to become one over the course of time. Next question is, how do I pick a sponsor? Well, I made another video about that on the channel here, but I would tell you, biggest thing to know is it's the most important decision someone will make in the process of joining eXp, because it's irrevocable. It cannot be changed. And your sponsor is someone who in effect will be a senior partner of yours in the company from that point onward. So they have an investment in you and your success with the company, and the company's paying for that investment on your behalf. So how do you pick a sponsor? I wouldn't say it's just who do you know. I would say up to this point, who has provided you with the most value and information and helped positively affect your decision to want to be a part of eXp. If anyone clearly comes to mind, that is probably going to be your go-to person. If you don't have a person up to this point, well, that's where you can check out some of my other videos on sponsorship. It will provide you some more insight in terms of how you can find the person that would be the best possible fit for yourself based on not just who you know up to this point, but some other things to consider as well. So check that out if needed. Last question that we're gonna get to here is eXp Realty good for newly licensed real estate agents? And I'm going to answer this very short and quickly by saying yes, eXp is good for newly licensed real estate agents if they plug in and make the most of the resources the company has to provide. And that's where I see it absolutely hit or miss, because I've helped well over 100 newly licensed real estate agents launch their careers here at eXp, and many of them are doing phenomenal. In fact, there's so many people and stories I can think of who I've personally helped start that journey from day one with eXp, and they would tell you today that their lives have been absolutely changed with real estate and what they've been able to do with the opportunity this company has provided, and every single resource that goes along with making that all possible. But on the other hand, I've seen agents that have had the same opportunity that just never really embraced it and plugged into what was there as far as resources, whether it be the training, support, etc., mentorship. There's some agents that just don't really make the most of it, and so it really comes down to what it is you're going to do with it. But for somebody who is ready to do the work and put their best foot forward and to really make the most of everything they could possibly do to succeed and just make it happen, I do not know of another situation in our industry where there is more to help a newly licensed agent succeed in the way of training, support, leads, and even an opportunity on the compensation front. I don't know of a better situation for a newly licensed real estate agent who's really going to apply themselves to this and do everything they possibly can to win and succeed. So the wins at your back here, it's still going to take a ton of work, but I would say it's the best possible situation for a newly licensed real estate agent who's ready to get to work. And those are your FAQs, and here's what I'd leave you with. If you have anything that I didn't answer on your mind, any questions, any insight you would like to hear from someone like myself who has time on task. In fact, I'm coming up on my 7th year with eXp Realty. That's about half the time this company's existed and the time frame in which most of our growth has happened. So I've seen it all. I know a lot of things about this company. I could talk for hours on end about it, but I really want to know what's important to you and what's on your mind. So if there's anything that you'd like to know that I didn't cover in this video, any questions, etc., I'd love to be a resource for you. So go ahead and do this. Send me an email. You'll find my contact information along with some other helpful resources for you in the description below. And if you found this video helpful, if you learned anything new, all I would ask is that you like, comment, and hit that subscribe button so that I can continue to share some tips and resources and things to help you sell more real estate, build your income, and build your life with the opportunity ahead. And all that being said, thank you so much for watching the video, and until next time, I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.